Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in my lab. And yeah, I'm still in the book. I'm just ripping them off now. Let's go. I'm on a nice little groove now. I'm in teaching mode. I'm locked and loaded. We're gonna talk about, I'm gonna ask the question, where do the where does true happiness come from? I'm gonna answer that question. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's always a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Hey, sorry about that. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking is way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's what I do, but it's rhetorical. And if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. Add to my be true. All right, right thinkers. Question. P from philosophy. Where does true happiness come from? Answer, within you. Oh, no, no, no. Now, if you're a spade player, this is for you. Why? Because I'm going in blind. I didn't pre-read the script. I didn't pre-predict. I found a spot that I didn't get this lesson. I found one out just laying around, so I'm just gonna pick it up and put it to use. Let's see what we got here. It ought to be interesting. I see my yacht in there. Whatever it is, I want to find out what that is when I get to it. So let's go. Where does true happiness come from? Now, in reality, happiness does not and cannot come from objects that can be acquired or from activities that are performed or from people outside of yourself. It sounds familiar. I gave the pursuit of happiness. I gave that. I said that just like I read that over. But we are in pursuit of something that we going about it the wrong way. Like looking for God outside yourself. Everything you're going to need, everything that you desire, everything that you're supposed to have is already inside you. You have to figure that out. Real simple. Okay, let's go. So now, if happiness can only come. You ready? Happiness can only come from within you. I can stop right there and drop the pen. Why? I'm gonna give you a bunch of examples to prove that out. That's how about that. I know that. That's the purpose of this lesson. I know that. I see my out in there, so we're gonna get to that one in a minute. Even actions that seem to be pleasurable in your life cannot be considered as a source of happiness. Why? From a philosophical point of view, no. Why? Because all activities are relative. Okay? And this means what? That one activity is pleasurable. What's the other side? For one person and painful for the other. Joy and pain. When somebody's happy, somebody's sad. What's another man's junk, another man's treasure. That's what Mayat represents. Duality. There's always the other side. That's all. That's all that means. And when you got understanding of both sides, now your decision making is based on what? Knowledge. You knowing, not hoping, wishing, or no. Know what you're doing. Know the decision that you're making is the right decision. Why? Because you benefit from good decisions, you suffer from bad ones. Simple as that. And we teach our young that early in life, they get better. By the time they're 9, 10 years old, they making perfect decisions and guiding their own life on their own way. Why? They got understanding and they've been practicing it when they was young. We giving direction after you got out of high school. What the hell? Excuse me. Get out of there. Get back. Get back. Talking about happiness. Sorry about that. You see, I see if I don't got direction, I'll be going. Once I start going, I won't stop. Like anybody. Once they start doing something, if somebody mistreats you, if somebody betray you, if somebody do something that's not right and good for you, and you forgive them and you let them have a second chance, what they gonna do? Yeah, so I'm not the bad guy for what? Not giving them a second chance. Well, you been telling me my mother-in-law, she didn't like that I did. I don't care. I'm not giving a person a second chance to mistreat me. Don't make a difference what you think or how you feel. That's just you. It should be human nature. If you do me wrong, I ain't dealing with you. Simply that. What you shouldn't have done that. All that apologizing means nothing to me. It don't change the fact of what you did. So moving on. So, but again, when there's one thing, there's two sides. When one person happy, another man sad. But the same activities that is desirable for what? To the same person at the same time is not at others. Everybody don't agree with the same thing. This means what? That such happiness is now, this happiness is really inconsistent. That means it ain't abiding, it ain't forever. And therefore, it's an illusion. Temporary. It's gonna like a mirage. It's there, then all of a sudden it ain't there. Like a dream. You have it all. Wake up, you ain't got jack. Man, get me back to the dream when I had everything. Okay. But also, all your forms of your physical pleasures are fleeting to the flesh, to the physical body. They don't last long. They do not fulfill the mind for long. I didn't read this. I haven't, this ain't no yellow on here. You can tell when I've been somewhere. Why? There's yellow everywhere. Okay. I haven't been here. Ain't nothing yellow here. I haven't. This is all new territory for me. And I'm like, dude, you sure? Because this stuff sounds familiar to me and all my stuff. But this what leads to what? The realization that it is not the mind. Excuse me. It's not the activity. Excuse me. Not the activity itself that holds the happiness. No, but the individual itself, the doer who is performing the action and assigning societal values to it. Therefore, what society says good and right, that's what you think is good and right. I don't live for their approval. You shouldn't either, okay? But therefore, if it was learned that going out to a party is supposed to be fun, and that's where you get it from. I remember them days, one of my favorite records, Bad Boys, want to sneak out tonight. I remember being on punishment. No, I'm going out and dance. You can deal with me after I get back, but I'm going. It's the fires. But again, this is all life challenges that we got to live through. Come on, if you keep it real, we've all done things that, yeah, when we was doing it, seemed cool. Look past it. That wasn't the smartest thing to do. But that's called life. And you grow and you learn. But what's this? So everybody tell you going out and have fun. No, I know for myself. Everybody tell me that. I'm going. Well, I know where the fun is at. And then the idea, that activity will be pursued as what? As a source of happiness. Yeah, not being able to go out, I'm unhappy. Going out dancing, getting with the group, I'm happy. That's heaven. Two different things, two mindsets, and that's a fact of life. Simple. But what's this? Here, action is performed in the pursuit of the what? The fruit that's desired, the result. To go have fun and of the action in the form of happiness. Yeah, it makes you happy temporarily. For the that's a lot of people understand it after the fact. But when we're going through, we ain't trying to hear none of that. Okay, I deal with that tomorrow. Right now, I'm doing me. I'm getting my happiness on. But however, there are several negative psychological factors that we don't think and take into consideration, which always will arise that will not allow what true happiness to manifest through anything that has to be done outside of yourself within the action of another person or things. It won't bring you happiness, temporariness. And now the first is that the relentless pursuit of the action that renders your mind restless and agitated while chasing. We call it chasing the dragon. Okay? This prevents inner peace. You ain't satisfied till you catch that dragon, and he's like the proverbial carrot. He ain't gonna be caught. All right, like the hamster on the hamster wheel, he ain't never gonna get the food. But entering what in your mind. But now the second is that if your desired activity, the desired activity that when you want it is not possible, oh hell no, oh no. Watch this. Remember, young people, teenagers, when they can't get what they want, they think the world coming to an end. You the worst parent. But I had to deal with that nonsense. I just see, I wouldn't have to deal with. No, I couldn't. No. Oh, hey, you just messed everything. Shut up. Okay, but here we go. But there was. Hey, watch this. The second is that desired activity when it's not possible. Scooby Doo, roll. There will be depression, animosity in the mind of the person who can't get their way, and that was me at one time. But I always use me as an example. Well, I'm injecting me. Why? I've been there. But if that activity is throttled by some outside force, my parents, my mother, meaning that what? Something or someone prevent you from achieving your goal, like going out to Zanzibar and kicking up your heels, and object of activity, you saw the source of happiness. Now what? You develop anger towards your parent, my mother. I was upset with her. Yeah, I was upset. I'll leave it there. But that person or who caused the circumstance, and that's just a true fact, I'm telling you, keep it real. All right. But if by what? If by chance you were able to succeed in achieving your objective or original activity, and that's what I'm saying. I snuck out. Why? I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna get my objective. I'm paying for it afterward, but yeah, I went against the rules and what? Because to do what I want to do. And when you do that, there's consequences. There's always consequences for your action. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, whatever. But there's consequences. That's all. That's all you got to understand. When I was a drug dealer, I knew there were two things that can happen for me. I'm going to get killed or I'm going to jail. I lucked out. Ha! I meet jail. Okay? But when it happens to you, now, when you get it off, you feel what? You elated. I'm happy as a pig and boy, when I get home, I'm back to, what I got to deal with. Again, consequences. You want to do that? This is the consequences. Had you not done that, you might have been unhappy because you didn't get what you wanted. But now you got to be punished. You got to be dealing with the higher authority. Okay? And this will cause what? Greed and craving. Once you get what you want, you're going to want more to develop into what? Your mind. So now you will want and you will experience, you want to experience what? More and more of what? The objects of your activities. Again, that's that ego. Satisfied is only going to want more. It can get full and what you want? More? What is it? More. Okay, that's the ego. But this makes for an agitated and distracted mind. And we don't even pay attention to that. So when you're not able to once again achieve your objective of that activity at any particular time, you will become depressed, you will be disappointed and frustrated. And under these conditions, and usually the time it's the youth, young people, like we got answer to authority. So if we can't do what we want to do, adults pretty much just can do what they want. This is pretty much for young people. Why? Because you're under some kind of authority situation at home. And on these conditions, the constant dependency, on a particular time, you will become depressed, disappointed, and frustrated. But under these conditions, a constant dependence on what? Outside activities and worldly objects develops in your mind, which will not allow you for true peace and contentment, even though we know it to be illogical to pursue activities that causes us pain in life. Doing the wrong thing is touching fire. If I tell you it's going to burn you, don't touch it. You say, yeah, you understand, yeah. First chance you get, what you going to do? Psst, I told you. But if you choose to have your own experience, which is the best teacher, no, I ain't got to worry about that one. You know now it's hot to burn you. But we as teachers and instructors and parents, We try to give you the heads up to prepare you and warn you. If the children, well, I can't say that, but if we gave them what benefit of doubt, gave them the truth, that would be easy for them to go through life and be better. We keep giving them the same old, which is a lie. It's gonna be hard to figure it out. You got kids tell their parents, "Why you lying to me?" And the parent looking stupid because you lied. Why? Okay, ask the question. I didn't lie to my kids. Okay, I didn't do that. Nothing else. I didn't lie. People are constantly acting, lying against their own interests as what? They engage in what? Actions of the effort to what? To gain they believe to be happiness. If you're a junkie, you will do anything to get high. If you're a thief, you'll do whatever you need to get an opportunity what? To steal. See where we're going with that? So whatever it is you're doing, that's what you're doing. But while in reality, you're only enhancing what? The probability of you encountering what? Pain later for that action. If what you're doing is not up and above board, transparent, good, you got to suffer the consequences of that action. Simple as that. Moving on. And for every egoistic pleasure and action, there is going to be an equal what? Opposite measure, what we call pain, that you must experience later. That's called the consequences of your action, the cause and effect. The reason you're going to have pain and suffering later because you choose to do this, and what come with that is the pain later. You got the pleasure in the beginning, now the pain gonna come after. Those are bad decisions. When your benefit of a decision is the consequence of your actions not good for you, that was a bad decision. Simple as that. Moving on. But people often act and they shortly, after they do it, shortly regret what they have done. If you're not thinking before you acting or talking, those kind of people suffer that. I don't have that problem. People who master themselves take care of that problem. Sometimes people know even at the time of their actions that they are wrong. And yet they what? They are unable to stop themselves. Okay. The idea of me getting killed or going to prison didn't stop me from doing what I was doing. But once I went to prison, that was enough. Okay, that's the experience I needed. Okay, I'm good. I got it. Leave it be. I'm done with this. I know some people took 20, 30 years to figure it out. To each his own. Ain't take me but one. All right. But this is because why? When the mind is controlled by the egoistic desires of the flesh and is have expectations, there's no intellect, and the light of reasoning will and willpower are all clouded and dull, if existence. Why? Ignorant people don't give a damn about those things. That's why. And one is then now controlled by what? Their ego, lower self. That's your enemy. That's the enemy within. That's your bugaboo for most people. We don't even pay attention to that. Well, I got no ego. Ignorance. Okay. However, when your mind is controlled by what? Purified intellect, aka a philosophy you can practice and live by. Then it is not possible for you to be led, get them, Malcolm, to be led astray, bamboozled, due to what? The fantasies and superstitions, nonsense, and illusions of your mind, which engender irrational desires, mainly of the flesh. And when you, the individual, when you're guided by your irrational desires, when you're guided by your intellect, only right thinking leads to right action can be performed. I tell you, I'm going to do what's right. I don't give a damn what you do. I got this from my pastor. I'm not going to let you take me to hell with you. So if you want to wild out and get crazy, have at it. I'm not going to entertain that. Why? I'm going to do what's right. Why? I know where my blessings come from. Not act like a fool. So I'm not doing that. I'm only going to do what's right. And I've lived that. No matter what negative ideas arise, negative situations come about, I'm still going to maintain my state of mind. Such a person like this cannot be deluded into negative action. You're not going to lure me into the mud with you and claim not to be a pig. As my pastor said, you can't get in the mud with the pig and claim not to be the pig. But as long as you don't get in that mud with the pig, you can claim not to be a pig. So I'm not getting in the mud with you. Okay? And when negative people show negative actions, actions which lead to what? Future pain, suffering, and disappointment in their own life, they are not performed by the people who what? Then unhappiness cannot exist. When I don't put myself in a position, like you said, when you don't put happiness, unhappiness can't exist. Frustration can't exist. Depression, all those things can't exist if you don't entertain them. You don't invite them in by doing the things that you do that will invite them into your life. Okay? Thus, you, that person who lives right, according to the teachings of right thinking philosophy, which is righteous actions, aka Mayat. Golly, I got that to it. I just saw Mayat. I said, I got to get this lesson, whatever it is. When I get to it, I deal with it then. Now, this is the philosophy I live by. That's why I know this. I ain't got to reread that. I know all this already. This is me. All right? Why? I learned this. And when you live in Mayat lives a life of what? Perpetual peace and righteousness. And happiness is in the present moment. I'm in the state of mind that keeps me comfortable, whether it's good or bad. You won't know the difference. That's Mayat. Balance. But this also implies that you're performing actions without hidden agendas or desires of expectations from the future results of those actions, and striving to only do good to humanity and service, aka selfless service, is what Mayat represents. That's God, to discover inner satisfaction by doing what's right, doing what's good. You always feel good about that. My mother said she never felt good doing things bad. I know now what that means. If she told me that before, I said, oh, you crazy as hell. Okay? She never cussed nobody out. Anybody could be that nice. Ain't in my mind, that don't happen. But if she say, I gotta take it for her word. So that's nice. That's way too nice. I've never been that nice. I think I'll ever be that nice. Because if you get wrong with me, I don't claim to be a pig. But if every now and then I got to wallow in the mud, I don't mind. I got the holy water to wash me off, so don't push me. I'm close to the edge. All right, but no, good is good. Simple as that. Good is good. Bad is bad. Moving on. Let me wrap it up for you again. I appreciate you tuning in. I just love to close it out. Where we at? So the Maya suffer servant. I give. I ain't asked for nothing from you or nobody else. Why? I'm just giving. I'm here to give life lessons. That's all. Not here to hustle. No, I'm here to do what I do for you, help you out. And thus, I have true peace in my inner self. And I can fulfill myself. And I will never come through the pursuit of actions where there is expectations through what? My actions or desires for what? Fruits of my labor, that I want something from you based on egoistic notions. Why? My egoistic and ignorant concept. My ego is at bay. It don't run me. It has no say-so in my actions and what I do for you. Okay? The ego fights for me against what? Negative concept. That's his job. And he on the point. So that keeps me where I'm at. Peace and content. While the ego covering out. He got my back. But this personal belief in objects or worldly activities as sources of happiness is therefore seen to the enlightened one, known as what? Spiritual ignorance. If you think anything in this world is going to bring you that, you are ignorant. Wherein the individual who is caught up in the illusion, the fantasies, the fanciful notions about materialistic things is the ignorant mind. And however, happiness and peace can arise spontaneously only when there is what? The right attitude, detachment, and dispassion toward objects and situations in your life. I ain't involved. I don't get caught up in emotional nonsense. I could care less. If it ain't me, it ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not nosy. And watch this. Objects and situations in your life. And attachment to what is good and beautiful and true. If it ain't good, I'm not with it. If it's good, count me in. Again, if the right actions are performed with the right idea of discovering peace within. This is based on your own understanding of the philosophy that you practice, that you perform, and it's all outlined above. And for the sake of betterment of society, then these actions will have the effect of what? Purifying one's heart, the heart of one individual. Every individual is responsible for doing just that for him or herself. Can't nobody do it for you. Wrapping it up. The negative desires, ego, and expectations will dwindle away while your inner fulfillment and your awareness of fulfillment in the present moment will start to increase, and there will be a greater and greater self-discovery of what? Peace within oneself, and a discovery of what is truly stable and what is changeless within, as opposed to the mind and the outer world, which are what? Constantly changing and what we know to be unpredictable. Do what's right, stay the course, stay focused on what it is you need to be doing for you, and you'll be fine. Trust me. That's where happiness comes from. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Hope you got the message. I got to go and right thinkers. May you all there to be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I never know my right thinkers who now understand where the true happiness comes from have passed away. Oh, I'll be right back.